Hello students, welcome to MJC Learning. Today we are going to learn about foreign trade of India. This is chapter number 10. This is last chapter of economics and this is part 2 video. So let's get started. In earlier video, that is in part 1 video, we have already seen about the meaning of foreign trade. That means when a country is having business relations with other countries, that will be called as foreign trade. In that, you have also understood about import, export, and intraport trade. Import, where you are importing things from the other countries. Export, where you are selling things to the other countries. And intraport trade, where you buy raw material from other country, process it in your country, and sell it to third country. So that you have understood in part 1 video in detail. In this video, we are going to learn about role of trade. Now, trade plays a very important role in an economy. When there are good trade relations of a country, that means that country is developing in better way. A country, if a country is having more good relations with different countries, so that countries will have investment in the countries in the origin country, and also it will have good business relations. So this will lead to the economic development of a country. Let's see how a role of trade is important for economic development. First point is to earn foreign exchange. Foreign trade provides foreign exchange which can be used for very productive purposes. Now let's say India is having trade relations with different countries. Now when we are exporting goods to the other countries, what in return India is getting? India is getting currency, money. When you sell things to other person or other countries, in return you get money. Now here, when you have trade relations with different countries, so you get their country's currency. So basically our foreign currency increases, and this foreign currency or this currencies, if we convert it into Indian rupees, can make a big huge amount. This amount can be used for India's overall economic growth, where more productive activities can take place. You can have more investment, more productions of goods and services. So to earn foreign exchange, we should have trade more and more foreign trade relations. But here one thing you need to remember, that we should have more of export, because when we have more of export, this is the plus side or positive side of a business. Then second point is it encourages investment. Foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic market. Domestic market means internal market. So beyond the domestic market, now producers go beyond domestic market, they go to international markets. International markets means they can have investment or they can have productions in different countries. It encourages them to produce more goods for export. Now as I said, to have a good business, export always should be more than import. So when it encourages investment, so more and more foreign companies will invest in our country, or our country's producer will have investment in other countries and they can have more productions of goods and services, and this leads to increase in total investment in an economy. So foreign trade encourages investment. Then third point is division of labor and specialization. Foreign trade leads to division of labor and specialization at world level. Some countries have abundant natural resources. They should export raw materials and import finished goods from countries which they are advanced in skill manpower. Now in earlier video, that is in part 1, you must have seen understood about intraport trade. Intraport trade, what does it mean? It means that, for example, a country, let's say India. India does not have enough of raw material, for example, but India has huge amount of population. So what we can do, if we don't have particular thing with us, what generally we do? We take it from other person or we buy it from other person. So same way, what India can do, India can buy raw material from other countries. Now they have enough of manpower. So when they have raw material, now they have, with the help of manpower, they can produce goods, and now they can sell these goods to different countries. What happens with this? Because of this advantage, India does not stop with limitations of production. Any countries, not only India, but any countries can produce goods and services with this way. If a country have abundance of natural resources, they have a good agricultural facility, but they don't have enough of manpower, they can even do that. So they cannot stop their activity, but with this advantage, they can produce goods and services. If one country is not having some like raw material or manpower, something like that, or capital, they can take the help of other countries, produce things, and still they can have foreign trade with the other countries. So division of labor and specialization involves intraport travel intraport type of trade, sorry, in this. Thus, foreign trade gives benefits to all countries, thereby leading to division of labor and specialization. So, if a country is specialized in something, other country can import things to that country or export things to that country. Then that particular country will have processing on that, and they can sell these things to other countries. So what happens if a country does not have anything? It will not stop its production. Still production can be continued. The fourth point is optimum allocation and utilization of resources. Due to specialization, resources are channelized for the production of only those goods which would give highest returns. So only those goods will be produced which have highest returns in the market. Because of that, what will happen? Optimum allocation and utilization of resources means whatever things are available, you make maximum use of that. That is the meaning of optimum allocation of resources. That is, whatever things you have available, you make maximum use of that things and produce good things, which in return, return gives you good return. So what happens? There is rational allocation and specialization of resources at the international level due to foreign trade. So this allocation of resources gives a good rise in the foreign market. Then comes stability in price level. Foreign trade helps to keep the demand and supply position stable, which in turn stabilizes the price level in the economy. Now, stabilizing price level means there is not too high or not too less level of price, like inflation or deflation type of situation. When a country is exporting more and more goods, why they are exporting more goods? Because other countries demanding. So what happens? The country who is exporting more and more goods will have to increase their production. So that means there is more demand. That is the reason they are supplying more. This demand and supply should always be balanced. With balanced demand and supply position, it, it will lead to the stabilized price level. If there is higher demand and there is less supply, or there is higher supply and less demand, this situation will affect the price level. But if there is balance between demand and supply, then there will be stability in the price level. So this foreign trade helps to keep the demand and supply position stable price level. Then comes availability of multiple choices. Now when you go to the market, nowadays for a single, even single good, you have so many of varieties, so many of options. Why do we have so many choices, so many options? Even you buy chocolates in this PPT, you can see there are so many chocolate brands. So even if whether it is a case of chocolate brands or cold drinks or juice or shampoos or biscuits or anything you take, anything, in any type of goods, you have so many varieties of options available. Why do we have so many options? We have this many options because maybe some productions takes place in our country, some are some brands are exported from the other countries, sorry, imported from the other countries, and or maybe some foreign companies must have produced or must have started production in our country as well. This also can happen. If for example, if any foreign country starts investment in our country, and then they start with their own brand, but that is produced in our country only, then even that will be produced. So with this more and more foreign trade, now people have more and more choices. So with what happens when people have more choices, of course they will get different types of varieties, but with that it will also affect the prices of the commodity. There will be reasonable prices. Why? Because everybody wants to sell their commodity, and this leads to an open market situation and not to the monopoly type of market. Monopoly type of market is market where there is only single seller. So what happens? A single seller always controls the market because that seller knows that there is nobody else who is going to enter in the market. But this type of market, what happens? There are so many sellers, so many producers. So with that, price is always controlled, and all along with price, people does not have to pay much prices, and along with that, they also have different types of varieties. And this is possible only with the help of foreign trade. And then sixth point is brings reputation and helps earn goodwill. Exporting country can earn reputation and goodwill in the international market. For examples, countries like Japan, Germany, Switzerland, etc. have earned a lot of goodwill and reputation in foreign market. Now, when a country is exporting goods, of course that country will take care of the quality of the product. For example, when you want to buy any mobile or any electronic item, mostly we go for Japanese item because they are good in quality. Or if we go for any wristwatches, we say that Swiss watches are always good. Chocolates are famous from the Switzerland. Perfumes are famous from the France. Why they are why these things are quite famous? Because they maintain their high quality, and with this high quality they make their name in the market. That becomes goodwill, that is a good name in the market. So when you go for particular brand, for example, when you say that this particular perfume is from France, so that means you are using a very good quality of perfume, that has a name. Or you say this watch is from Swiss, this German watch is there. The watches are famous from from Germany. Most of the watches are famous from the Germany. So when you say this watch is from Germany, so that means you are using a very good quality of watch. So these products make their goodwill, that is their name in the market. And to make this name, good name in the market, they work hard on their production. They make a good quality product. Like how you make, if you want to make your good name in the college, what you do, you study hard, you take part in different activities, you maintain your good record. So that becomes your goodwill, that becomes your reputation. So same way in the market also they make good qualities and they make goodwill, so that different countries particularly select that particular brand from that countries. So this way all this leads to, these are the roles of foreign trade, why this foreign trade is important. In this we have seen it brings reputation and helps on goodwill, availability of multiple choices, stability in price level, optimum allocation and utilization of resources, division of labor and specialization, it encourages investment, and it earns foreign exchange. So in this video we have learned about role of trade. Next video we will continue with part 3. Thank you.